We'll start the live stream right now. The event is starting. 1 second into it now. Hello everyone.
What is it? I don't think there's anybody yet. Wow, okay. I guess let's just wait for a couple of years and then jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
What?
Like, I'm so excited if even anybody will tune in.
Two people are watching.
Nice.
That's dope.
2 people already.
Two people watching. Yeah.
Where's the analytics? Am I
don't
just...
know. I'm just checking it from the other place, and 2 people are apparently watching it. Cool.
Could be that this is your PC and my PC.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Now there's
no,
3 people.
I'm just in the.
I don't see where the analytics are. I don't know. Am I too stupid to find the... Ah, okay. There's it. Analytics. Nice. Okay. Stream's looking crispy. Already got 1 dislike. Yeah. Goal achieved.
I feel like that was my friend that's watching it. And he's like, and he's just like, haha, rip you guys suck, you're the worst. And those are jokes. Okay, so I guess let's just wait for some people and then we'll do it.
Hi, I'm quite surprised about the stream, but that's great. Nice to hear. When you have some questions, just throw them on to us. Why are there 2 dislikes? I don't know. Like,
people just trolls, man.
Trolls. It's the internet. So there'll be always trolls.
Oh, by the way, Mark is a Kangaroo Production. He's a friend of mine. I've made him mod so in case we miss any bad words. Don't swear. This is a very good and I can't say that, demonetized. I think we should buy. For those of you that don't know, YouTube demonetized this video because apparently we're not worthy of money.
Reasons.
but you can you can use freaking random stuff. I don't know what to do. Should we just jump into our show files or something?
You just told me that you have some things to do at your show file on your show file. So
I guess
I'll switch to your screen and have fun.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. Okay, so well, let me wait for the change.
Yeah, change should be here right now. It's changed on my side, so you can go on.
All right. So for those of you that haven't seen my stream, I'm gonna put a bit of self publication here. Go check it out on my channel. That was the old show file walkthrough. If you watch that and then you watch this, it's gonna make a lot more sense. But I guess there's just a few things I kind of want to change today about mine. I actually need.
What's your most hated feature in GrandMA2? There's this background button that just does nothing.
Yeah, the fucking back G button. It's like you fucking pay money to put that button. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, it's this button. If we just search GrandMA2 back G, for those of you that don't know, it's literally in the manual just says no function, and it's like nobody knows why it's there, and it's aggravating. There's like, look, the back G key has no function. It's like, what? Just do something with it. Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Just beautiful.
It's so aggravating. They could make it like a user customizable button or some shit. I could use that. All right. Okay, let me go back to what I wanted to do. So what I want to do, the first thing I need to do is I need to go fix a macro, because when I tested my show file the other day and I fucked up a macro somewhere. I think it was here. Yeah, here's where I fucked it up. That needs to be a 4, and that needs to be group 20. Cool. And that also needs to be group 20, because I am inept apparently at numbers. 9697. Whoa, what? Oh no, that's a delay one. That's super secret stuff that I don't want anyone to see. Why did I shift? I shifted all the groups by one, and it's like it makes no sense. I don't know why I did this. I'm just apparently not smart. Okay. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to clean these up so that I've only got one macro here, so I can use to stomp stuff. So let me hop into here and go to my storage, which is page 127. I'll just store a couple of things here. 1, 2, create second queue, 3. So what I'm doing is for my programming, I've got these macros over here that say stomp dimmer and stomp movement, and they just put the attributes. They just stomp the attributes so that like I don't have to grab the group, go to this, go to effect layer, go to here, press stomp, because you know that's just such a tedious thing. So what I want to do is I want to have one macro that I can press and then select what I want to stomp, and then it works. So let us do that. Let me jump into here. And what macro numbers are those? 352. 352, 352. So let me just move these.
It's just so many
down.
macros in your shell file.
It really is. It's sad how many macros I've got. It's like for those of you that want my show file, it's just pure macros, and you're not gonna get it. Firstly, you're never gonna get my show file. Because like when people message, I just want to make this clear. I don't give my show file out, and Lucas won't give his show file out because it serves no educational purpose. Every single person, I've ranted about this before. I'll rant about it again. Every person. Oh fuck, I fucked up. Every person needs to develop their own workflow that works for them, that they can do, and it's just okay. It's not gonna work doing it any other way. Dimmer movement. That's how you spell movement, right? I think it is. Hoping it is. And then everyone's gonna have a hissy fit because I say go macro, and it's like, and don't you say go macro? Just it works. Go macro 1078 for that one, and go macro 1079 for that one. That is basically all that I'm
your
doing
friend
here.
just translated, feel free to ask questions into German. Yeah, he said, fühlen Sie sich frei, Fragen zu stellen. That's like
Is it right?
It's the exact translation, but in German you would like say it a little different, I think. But I'll take the time to just answer one of the German questions. Warum ist GrandMA eigentlich so unnötig kompliziert? Ich finde nicht unbedingt, dass es unnötig kompliziert ist. Es ist einfach sehr umfangreich und kann halt relativ viel. Und deswegen ist es halt nicht so wie zum Beispiel die .2, dass es dich durch einen bestimmten Workflow durchführt, den du dann auch relativ leicht adaptieren kannst, sondern es gibt dir halt die Möglichkeit, wirklich jeden beliebigen Workflow zu basteln, wenn du erstmal weißt, wie es funktioniert. Und dementsprechend ist es halt sehr kompliziert. Ob unnötig, würde ich jetzt erstmal nicht sagen. Aber danke dir für die Frage. Okay, back to English.
So what I'm doing here with this macro, we're just saying GoTo, because for those of you that don't know, I like the system a lot, is with MA there's no way to create like a pop-up menu, so like it can pop up and I can select something. So the way I do it is I just say GoTo on an exec. So like with this one now, it pops up and I can select which one it is. And then when I select one of them, it's literally just a Q command that's saying go macro whatever. So for those of you that wanted to know what that is, just in case you want to use it, I think it's a pretty cool little system to use, because you know you can't make pop-ups and shit yet. My friend in the Discord chat just said you're very good at German, Lucas.
Oh, nice to hear. I don't know where this is coming from, actually.
Yeah, it's not like you were raised in Germany or anything, you know. It's like I don't know where you would get the idea. I need to go. What is attribute? Attribute color 1.
T0M just wrote, GrandMA isn't even complicated. It's just easy when you know what
GrandMA is fucking complicated. That is wrong.
Yeah, it is. It is
can I explain park and unpark? Sure, Mr. No Forename. Basically, what park means is that. Let me quickly go into this, okay? Yep. So if I come to an exec, so let's just do something quickly. So let me hop into a different show file quickly. Big festival. Save that because I'm gonna come back to it. Okay. Let me open MA3D, and it's easier to explain this. I should have opened MA3D before. Okay. Park is very useful when you're doing like theater and concerts and shit. And I'll explain
Oh,
why
yes.
in a second. Park can also be your enemy. I have had issues with Park before because I'm sometimes just inept, apparently. Alright, let that load. Run here, switch that off. Okay, so if I grab, so here I'm just gonna grab my beam group, set it on, and just put it in a position. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna store it to an executor. Just clear out. Now when I go in, I'm gonna set these the bottom one to park, and the top one to unpark. So what happens? Let's also set a fade because I'll then be able to explain it better. So when I switch this on, because I didn't save this. Basically what park means is if I press park and it is now parked, I cannot change the DMX values at all. So if I grab this and I say position, it won't do anything. This doesn't have a even if I set this to a low priority, and just say okay and switch it back on, once it has been parked, you can't affect it at all. No matter what you do, or any attributes that were active. So if I change this up a bit, if I delete this and I grab the fixtures, so I'll bring everything into the programmer and just quickly, oh, they're still parked. So that's a problem.
You have to unpark first.
Yeah.
Parking is happening in the DMX sheet itself. So
Yeah.
the only thing
So
that
see, I
can
fucked
override
up.
parking is the DMX tester when I'm right, and you can't override it with any like sequence or executor or super priority executor.
I think you have
It's
to then go
in
into
the actual
fucking-
DMX sheet.
I think I fucked up. This is why I don't. Again,
I think these values will still be parked even when you
No,
are changing the
you-
patched fixtures on these channels.
Yeah. If you fuck up and you can't get stuff out, just say unpark the group because that's what I do. Okay, so now I've brought everything into the program, so all of these values are active. So I'm going to store this to an exec, and once again go and change this to unpark and park. And now you'll see that once I bring this up and I say park, no matter what I press, no matter what I do, so I come to these, if I come here and I change positions, effects won't run. It's basically, as the name implies, parks the fixtures at that DMX value, so you can't actually change DMX values at all. So it can be useful, like if you have like DJ lights or front fills or whatever that you just don't want to change at all, then you can just park those on and you won't have any issues. But I generally don't. I avoid park because like if I go here and I just say ignore exec time quickly, and I set a fade of 5 and I let it fade in, if I park it there, it should theoretically, like, wherever it is when you press park, that's where it's going to stay. So if you want to use park, use park. If you don't. It is worrying to use. Now you can see when I press unpark, that'll work. When I press park, no worky. So does that answer your question, Mr. No Forename? That was a really long explanation for something that isn't very long. Clear on my program. Okay, I'm going to jump back into my other show file because I want to finish up there still. Other crap I was doing. Check all, load show, don't save.
Actually, in the theater where I had my internship, they use park quite a lot. They park a lot of things.
I'm not the biggest fan of park, honestly. I just
same for me.
It causes
it's
issues
like
because
it's a point where you can forget about something parked and then wonder why it's not working later.
Yeah, it's like it causes issues for me, so I just choose to like try and steer clear of it.
Yeah.
And then it just like works.
I always try to, when I have a problem, I off everything, and when it's still there, I've made something critically wrong.
Yeah, so it's like you
like
mess up
when you have parked something and you off and clear everything, the park values will still be there.
Yeah, so no matter what you do, like even if you like, as far as I know, even if you close the show file and like reopen it, it'll still be there.
Will
like
still be there.
Never goes away.
Yeah.
It'll still be parked when you bring the show file back up.
Yeah.
There's a couple German questions for you.
Not really. Only the guy that said GrandMA is complicated, and the other guy that said GrandMA is not complicated just said it's not that beginner friendly.
It really isn't. Like
It
it's got
isn't,
the whole
no.
help menu thing, but like once you get it, I've played with Avo, I've played with ECC, I've played with all of that, and it's just nothing actually compares. Nothing compares. Nothing. Oh, no, okay.
There are some
Nothing.
German questions.
Yeah. Nothing
Just right now
compares
they
to
popped in.
GrandMA. So if you want to say it's complicated, it is, but spend the time and learn it because it's the best console on earth.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'll just answer some German questions right now. T0M. Was mich interessieren würde, welcher ist der beste Weg, Lampenpositionen in GrandMA 3D festzulegen? Wenn man alles per Hand verschiebt, ist das ziemlich ungenau und in der Hinsicht bin ich auch Perfektionist. Sehe ich genauso, ich bin da auch Perfektionist, deswegen mache ich das Ganze auch immer auf die genaueste Variante, wie es irgendwie geht und dementsprechend gar nicht in GrandMA 3D, sondern im Stage View in GrandMA selbst. Da geht es nämlich genauer und einfacher, meiner Meinung nach. Ethan, I'll just change to my screen to answer the German question.
I'm just doing some random crap, so go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so let's just. Ich bleibe jetzt mal beim Deutschen, sorry. Patche ich mir einfach mal ein paar Moving Heads.
Tom T0M GrandMA2 is live. They would just add some fucking functionality to the back G key.
Ja.
You know.
Ja.
That would make it better.
Ja. Okay, ich patch mir jetzt einfach mal 8 Pointe und pack mir die auf eine Gruppe, fertig aus, dass ich die hier habe. Und dann möchte ich die jetzt im Stage View irgendwie möglichst einfach und schnell anordnen. Pools, Groups, meine Point auswählen, Setup drücken, da sind sie. Und dann kann ich jetzt hierher gehen und die ein bisschen hochheben auf 6 Meter zum Beispiel. Und jetzt hier entweder mit Align oder halt wirklich, indem ich Werte eingebe. Also zum Beispiel -4 through 4. Jo, direkt mal verkackt. Sorry, -4 through 4. Die von -4 bis 4 verteilen. Und wenn ich die jetzt mal anmache, ja, sind die jetzt halt gleichmäßig verteilt, so wie ich mir das vielleicht auch vorstelle. Genau, so kannst du es halt genau machen. Da kannst du auch Rotation genau einstellen und die Positionen, das ist natürlich auch individuell, je nachdem, was du ausgewählt hast. Also im Prinzip ist die Reihenfolge einfach, ich wähle mir irgendwelche Lampen an, egal ob per Group oder über Fixture 1 bis irgendwas, wähle dann Setup und dann habe ich hier oben auf den Encoder Wheels die Parameter für die Position und kann da entsprechend auch Through verwenden oder eben Align und dann geht das relativ einfach, schnell und trotzdem genau. So, nächste Frage. Seid ihr beiden eigentlich Lichttechniker bei größeren Festivals oder in bekannteren Clubs? Schön wär's. Leider nein. Also ich zumindest nicht. Ethan weiß ich nicht ganz genau. Ethan, like what is the biggest show? Like one asked if we are like known light designers which are doing bigger festival and club stuff. We are not. Okay. So we are not.
Yeah. Are you still explaining that one thing?
I'm done. So
okay.
You can go ahead.
I've got
change to
two things I want to address. Thanks. The first thing is DJ Rubs. Please, like, accentuate on what you mean by master light jockey. If you mean go and learn light jockey before MA, don't. It's not worth it. Just learn. Honestly, light jockey is a lovely piece of software for what it is. But spending the time to learn light jockey and learn all those, like I learned QLC Plus before I even knew MA existed. But now MA, I'm not gonna name him, but there's a guy I spoke to, and I'm like, who's very well known, but I'm not gonna name him out of just respect. And I asked him if I should go and learn like Camsys and Ava and all of that crap, and he said if you know MA, you can get a job. It might not, if you don't have like a degree or whatever, you might not get the top job. But spend the time learning MA, and then if you've learned MA thoroughly and you can create amazing light shows, then maybe go and learn light jockey if you want to be able to do something on the side. Then I'm going to jump into Mr. No 4 Names question about what is assigned to my execs for a show. So let me hop onto this view. So on my execs, pretty similar to Christian Jackson because I kind of just ripped him off. Hey, I don't lie, you know. Abraham Lincoln never tell a lie.
And
I've changed it a lot, though.
Inspiration is good.
It is because
when you are copying, it's not good because you learn nothing. But when you get the inspiration from it and think, oh yes, this is an efficient way to do it. Like why shouldn't you not do it like this?
Yeah, because I ranted about like how like you can't use somebody else's show file. It's like, it's not that you can't like use it at all. It's just that you should figure it out, like take inspiration and figure it out. But I've changed a lot. It's mainly just the fader stuff that is the same at the moment. So my first 5 faders are always intensity stuff. So I've got beam, spot, wash on, LED one. Wash on and LED one I can actually just change to wash and LED, because as you can see on my color picker, I'm only programming beam, spot, wash and LED, because there's nothing worth. There's really no point in going above that. There's no point in doing more than those couple things. So yes, the first 4 here are that fader 5 will generally be atomic stuff. So if I want atomic intensities, atomics, just changing dimmer stuff in the atomics or whatever, it'll be 5. 6 will be blinders or sun strips or whatever if I want some effects on those. Then if I don't have a wash in the show, I'll delete this and create a rig fader, which will just do effects across the entire rig. Then below I've got rig strobe, so it'll just strobe the whole rig, beam, spot, strobe, rig random, so it'll just do a random strobe on the whole rig, and then beam random. Then I've got the color effects generator fader, prism speed, so this is, I can change the speed of a prism on a fixture that has a prism. Then beam fly out and spot fly out, these just allow me to manually change the tilt value of of something. So I can just beam and spot, I can change their tilt value. Then the beam, spot, and wash size faders, so I can change the size of effects. Then dim speed and move speed. Then down here I've just got, it'll put the whole rig into white, red, yellow, lavender, and magenta. Then here, so this is actually, I've been saving for a video of mine, but I used to have execs here. Now it's literally just layout views and macros. I told you my show file is just macros. So I've got the color picker here that everyone can access to through my videos. I've got the color picker for the color effects generator, my delay sweeps down here. All of these have tutorials already. I've got fades here, which are obviously just assigning fades to stuff. So the way I get them to change to yellow is just appearance macro, whatever. Then up here, these are the macros for the other thing, for the color effects generator. I can change the form, I can change groups, I can change direction, and then QQ list isn't that important. Then for the rest of the execs on screen form, I'm just going to go here and go into play. I've got 2 sets for everything besides wash. Wow, English. I've got 2 sets of position executors. The first one responds to the exec time fader times. The second one assigns to the position fade delay. So I've got a video up on that as well. That's where it'll start moving the center fixtures, then go out. Then I've got just a whole lot of different movements that I could use. I've got a symmetrical circle, a circle where they're all going in one direction, so I could just call it circle clock. Pans, a symmetrical pan, asymmetrical pan, symmetrical tilt. Modifiers for the effects, so different groups, direction, blocks, phase. Then here's where it gets pretty cool. For the beams, I've got 2 prism execs, so these set it to active. So I set it to active, then change the speed with this. Then I've got gobo spin, so it just spins through all the gobos on the fixture. Then color chase, so which currently does nothing. And then for the spots, it's different. It is 1 spot prism to 2 spot gobos. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. No Forename, of what I have assigned to my execs during a show. I see people that assign like actual effects to the exec themselves. I'm not a fan of that. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't, but as I said, like what I like isn't necessarily what you want to do, so just choose your own workflow and work around that.
Good conclusion. Yeah, so I just want to remember that just put your questions into the comments and ask them. Feel free to ask them. We'll answer them in English or in German, just the way you ask them. And we would be very happy to answer your question.
Okay, let me see if I missed any questions. Park and unpark. Okay, cool. So, Mr. No Forename, that answers your question. Dope.
Dope AF.
Dope AF. Okay. Cool. So I don't know what now.
I could explain something about embedded presets. I don't really know if people know what embedded presets
Oh,
are. Do
just for
you
those
know?
of you that are interested, actually, I finished this. Just, I'll probably add some more, but I finished it. Okay, you can go, Lucas.
Okay, let me change to my screen. So, I have to get myself a sequence tracking window, and I have to get myself, what do I need? Like a position preset window and any type of, is this the right window? I'm not quite sure.
Mr. No
Sequence
Forename, with your
content,
question
sequence
referring to
executor.
command wing or console, is that to buy? Like, should you buy a command wing, or should you buy an ultralight, or is it like for a show you've got the option of getting a console or a command wing? That can answer your
Console.
question properly. No,
Yeah. Obviously, when you have the chance to get a console, you will get
honestly
the
though,
console.
if to be quite frank, if it was like, I would rather if they said you can either have like a command wing and a fader wing, or a ultralight. I'd go with the command wing and a fader wing and get 2 touchscreens. And like, even though you lose the multi-touch, you're not with the ultralight. You still only got 10 X keys, and you still only got like, the ultralight's a stupid console. I don't like it.
Yeah, like you have
Everyone,
no motorized faders, and there's
no, it's like the
yeah.
yeah, it's. Michael Kangaroo Productions asked Lucas some of your worst experiences in the lighting industry.
Oh, there are a lot.
People are dicks.
There are literally a lot. Cause like so many people do weird shit and don't like, they don't have any concern about safety. So like there are some steel like safety gear that is not even allowed to be used nowadays, but I still use it cause no money and fuck life. And that's you can see this everywhere in theaters, on shows, and it's happening all the time, and the people don't care about safety, and that's a concern. And the worst experience I have all the time, cause safety is important.
On that, I was reading on one of the Facebook groups. The guys were ranting because at LDR, which is meant to be like the main lighting convention of the year, they're like, there were Chinese people there selling non-rated hoists and stuff, and when you're hoisting people into the air and you're hoisting rigs that could kill people, that will kill people, we've seen this before, you should always, especially when it's a concert or something and they're using freaking cheap gear, it's an issue. Tom, actually I'm building kind of my own light. My school I operate and design the lights for is probably getting a command wing and fader wing. T0M do that, and I'm very happy for you that your school is getting a command wing. That is awesome. Schools need to have more lighting programs and shit, especially here in South Africa. Yo, definitely get 2 touchscreens if you can. Get like a programmable. Oh no, you're getting a command wing, so you don't have to. Just maybe figure out a way to remap some keys that you've got all 20 X keys, because X keys are pretty dope. I use them all the time, so just figure out a way to do that. You can just take in MA itself, just remap stuff, because if you got the command wing, you're not really going to need the keyboard unless you're labeling stuff, in which case, what's
Okay,
it called?
so back
cool.
to
Lucas, go.
the embedded preset thing. So I've made 2 presets with just the one position and another position, all global presets for these points. And now I'm going to assign the first 4 points to the first position preset, and the second 4 points to the other position presets. And when I now store this into another preset, let's do this, store into another preset, then the connection to the old preset is gone. When I now take this new preset and store it into the next queue, you can clearly see that there's only a connection to the preset I've just created. Which basically means when I now change these first presets, my third preset won't change at all. So when I don't want this to happen, I can go ahead and let me delete the Q3 and let me delete this position preset. And now I do the same thing again. First for pointer, get the first position, and the second for pointer will get the second position. And then when storing, I hold store, I get the store options, and I say allow embedded, and I can also say keep activation, but allow embedded should do, I think. And now this is an embedded preset, which is symbolized by the E. And when I now take this preset and store it onto Q3, you won't see it. Fuck, it is not displayed in the tracking sheet. I thought you would see it there. But basically, when I now change one of the first presets, the information in the second, in the third preset will actually change. Let me show this to you. Then I have to be able to see it in the fixture sheet. You can see this somewhere. I know this. Edit. Yeah. Delete. Yeah. Yeah, there's only the presets stored into this third preset. As you can see, there are no actual values stored into it. There's only the presets stored into it. And when I edit one of the... No, it's not showing. I thought I could show this off now, but it's like... In German, you would call it Vorführeffekt. It's just not working like you thought when you like to show it off. I have to try this another time. But
That's cool.
usually it should work like this. So embedded presets will keep the link to another preset. So you could make one preset which contains the information of more presets. So you can make one preset where all fixtures are on one like singer, for example, and like 5 more presets for all the other singers, and then you can build your embedded presets with a mixture of like 2 moving heads on this singer, 2 moving heads on the other singer, and when you are on location, you just have to edit your presets for all the singers, where you have all the fixtures on one singer, and it will automatically be updated in the embedded presets. That's the idea. But I'm not able to show this off right now, so you got the point. You can figure it out yourself, or I will explain it in another stream or tutorial. So back to you, Ethan, and I'll read some questions while you are going on.
There's a couple more to come. I don't know if there's anything I actually want to go through. I kind of want to keep, some things myself so that, I've got some material, because I've kind of given away half my show file now. Actually, no, there's a lot of... So, can you send it back to my view? Because there's actually something pretty cool that I want to go through. Lucas?
Okay, so there are 2 more German questions that I could answer.
Yeah.
One.
Lucas, will you put it back to my view quickly? I want to actually go through something.
I'm there.
Quickly.
You
Okay,
can
cool.
go on.
Do you want to answer the questions and then I'll talk?
Yeah, one is very easy
Cool.
and fast to answer. Manchmal fehlt mir so ein bisschen das Kreative beim Programmieren. Kann ich das trainieren? Trainieren ist eine gute Frage. Also, ja, irgendwie so das Kreative. Also ich mache einfach mal, also ich meine, ich arbeite jetzt seit 3 Jahren mit GrandMA und hätte das nie, also würde es nie so gut können, wie ich es heute kann, wenn ich mich nicht oft genug hingesetzt hätte, um einfach nur damit auszuprobieren. Und durch dieses Rumprobieren und einfach mal basteln und schauen, ja, was sieht irgendwie geil aus, was kommt irgendwie gut. Und natürlich aber auch, wenn du dir andere Tutorials anguckst oder dich von Leuten einfach inspirieren lässt, dann kriegst du schon so ein bisschen Gefühl dafür, was sieht gut aus, was sieht nicht so gut aus. Und so kriegst du da so ein bisschen kreative Ideen. Trainieren in dem Sinne, weiß ich nicht, ob man es nennen kann. Du kriegst einfach mit der Zeit Erfahrung, was gut aussieht und was nicht so gut aussieht und entwickelst dann auch irgendwo so ein bisschen deinen eigenen Stil und dann hast du im Prinzip deine Kreativität. Ja, genau. Ich hoffe, das konnte die Frage beantworten. Gibt es eigentlich eine Funktion, die Musik analysiert und darauf das Licht abstimmen kann? Ja, es gibt eine Funktion, die Musik analysiert und darauf das Licht abstimmen kann. Und zwar gibt es genau, unter System, also wenn du ein neues Window auf dem View hinzufügst, gibt es unter System Sound Input. Ich kann es jetzt nicht richtig zeigen, weil ich habe gerade keinen Sound Input an meinem Rechner hängen, aber im Prinzip dieses Fenster hier ist Sound Input und wenn du dann halt irgendwas an Sound in deinen Rechner reinschickst, was ich gerade nicht tue, deswegen kann ich es nicht zeigen, dann würde er hier den Sound analysieren und entsprechend die Geschwindigkeit vom BPM-Fader anpassen. Das heißt, du kannst dann mit dem BPM-Fader arbeiten, aber du kannst auch hergehen und zum Beispiel im Executor hergehen und hier als Trigger Sound nehmen und dann sagen, das soll aufgrund von den Bassfrequenzen, Mitten oder Höhen getriggert werden oder eben BPM als Trigger nehmen. Ja, das sind so im Prinzip die verschiedenen Arten und Weisen, wie du mit Sound-Inputs arbeiten kannst in GrandMA. So, mein bester Tipp, um Licht zu designen, einfach machen. Würde ich mich nicht so gut mit GrandMA auskennen. Wie? Würde mich nicht so gut mit GrandMA auskennen, wenn ich nicht so oft genötigt wurde, Licht zu basken. Ja, damit fängst du doch an. Wenn du nicht weißt, wie du es genau machst, wie du es richtig machst, baust du dir halt deinen Kram im Programmer, speicherst dir ihn irgendwo drauf und drückst ihn halt per Hand. Das ist so immer der Workaround, der funktioniert, auch wenn du jetzt nicht viel Ahnung von GrandMA hast. Aber dadurch lernst du. Und so habe ich auch angefangen, mit Seiten voller Executor, von vorne bis hinten. Und eine Menge Stress bei den Events dann letztlich, weil ich halt alles per Hand gedrückt habe. Aber spätestens nach dem ersten Event hast du keinen Bock mehr darauf, alles per Hand zu drücken und hockst dich dann halt doch mal hin und versuchst irgendwie einen besseren Weg zu finden. Aber ja, einfach machen. Richtig guter Tipp. Okay, back to you, Ethan.
Dope.
Dope.
Dope. I like dope. It's my new favorite word. So cool. So what I want to go through is the view that's up now. This is like a view I've stolen again from a pretty influential lighting designer who I'm again not going to name. I think Lucas and Kangaroo Productions know who I'm talking about, but they're also going to keep quiet. So my show file is complete. It's not basically, it is worked on busking. I've never been a Q listing guy. I don't like Q lists. I like busking. Busking is fun. Punting, whatever you want to call it. But I've created this view, which is pretty dope. Is that it's dope? So firstly,
which is pretty dope. It's dope.
It is though. There's all these macros down here that select different execs. As you can see, they're labeled. So basically, all this is that I can create queue lists for different songs I want pre-programmed, and I can then during the show grab it. It's on the queue list is there. And then I've got the color picker here, so that if I've programmed something I don't like, I can always change the color during the show. Because the one thing to know about the way I did is that there isn't any dimmer information stored here. These literally store position, effect, color, and that kind of stuff. They don't do any dimmer information. So I'm still doing dimmers live and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool because I've created in a way that I can select it, then I can set up the exec exactly how I want it, and then label it whatever. So if I want to do this one, I'll just say just a test, for example. Then it automatically labels, and then there again. So then it's labeled, and then I can say label the macro, and again test. I should probably actually work that into one thing. I don't know why it's asking me twice, but what the fudge? Why is it asking me twice? Or whatever. So then I can do it. So yeah, it's cool, and then I can just reset everything. So yeah, so I like it. Next video on this channel is just Ethan saying dope.
Dope AF.
Dope AF. I can see it now. Ethan Benjamin saying dope 3 hours straight. Not exclamation mark, exclamation, exclamation mark. Not clickbait. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Dope, aka the
Yeah.
feeling that you get from doing something good. Also
No,
nice.
don't even come near me if you smoke marinara sauce. Marinara is the devil's sauce. Just raw sauce. You know, man's not hot. NASA plans to send Big Shaq to the sun to see if man is really never hot. I think we're going off of topic now.
A little bit.
Let's see.
But keep going.
There's another question in German for you.
Oh, there is?
From T0M.
It's not really a question. It's just a good thing that I just gave
I'm
my
just gonna
comment
Google
on.
translate it quickly.
I can also translate.
Let's see. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me enter translate and let's see who's quicker. Okay, Control C.
I'm
right,
ready.
Lucas. And go.
You start.
Oh, it's done. My best tip to be good in the light design, just do it. I would not know. So it's, yeah. That is it. That is perfectly said. T0M is that the only way to get good is just like, for those of you that don't have access to an MA and a rig and stuff, freaking sit in your bedroom or whatever with 2 screens, create a show file, and freaking practice. Like if you can get a MIDI controller, then there's a tutorial on my channel to show you how to use it for free if you don't want to buy bones, and sit and practice MA. Because if you can, like, say to a company, listen, I'm trained in MA, I'm good at this, I could actually offer a service to you straight away, because a lot of rental companies are getting these people that are coming in that aren't trained, that don't know consoles, that don't know design, and they then have to take them and they're like, okay, we need designers, so they'll teach them MA, they'll teach them everything. So if you can come in and already be ready to go, then I think you've got a much better chance at getting the job. So
Yeah.
There's my rant.
And like the next most important thing is that you have some events done already that like went very well and have a very good design, or you just nailed it. Like having done something really amazing is the most important thing in this industry. When you have something to show off that represents your work and that's freaking awesome, you have a great chance to get jobs. Right?
I agree.
Okay.
Do you want to do something? Because I don't really have anything to talk about.
Are there no English questions?
Thank you, Kangaroo Productions.
Old lighting desk. Blah blah blah. "24 channels lighting console at school." Yeah, like it's school, not bad. But yeah, our school really never really had lighting equipment. They had sound equipment, and a lot of it, like really a lot of it. They invested in Behringer X32 consoles. Like they have 5, 6, 7, I don't even know, just so many. We're doing school concerts with around 180 fucking channels. It's totally over the top of what you think a school concert should have. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. I can try out the embedded preset thing again, but I could blame myself. Ethan, do you have something in mind for now? Hello? Ethan still there? Hello?
Sorry, I went somewhere quickly. Just give me 2 seconds quickly.
Okay. Weirdest moment in stream ever. I'm just looking up some interesting things as well.
Cool. What are we doing?
For all the people that don't really know how to use tracking and always run into the problem that when you are using tracking that you screw up
I don't know
queues that
tracking.
you've already programmed, there's a little workaround which basically disables tracking just for the moment so that you're able to store a new queue which doesn't impact any other queue without sacrificing on using tracking. So this is basically very easy. I'm just preparing some queues to show it off. And some groups here. And let's change back to my screen. So I have 3 queues that have tracked values in them. And normally when I would now store something into queue 5, for example, queue 6 would change accordingly. So I take all these points and put them onto this preset. I store this into the queue 5. Into the queue 5, please. I merge them values in, and you see the queue 6 has changed as well. That's tracking. Tracking will track the values to the next queue. If I don't want this and I want an easy solution around this, I could use the block command. So I'll write block sequence through, which will block all those tracked values. And when I'm now storing my thing again into the queue store queue 5 again. 5, so please merge. This will still work, but the values that come next will still be unchanged. And now I can write unblock sequence through again to get rid of those blocked values that don't have to be blocked. That's a very easy way to disable tracking temporarily to don't fuck up your queue list, basically. I hope this could help some of you. And there's a German question. Ist auch das Problem, was wir gerade haben, kein Lichtequipment, aber eine geile PA. Ja, so sieht es bei uns im Prinzip auch aus. Fast nichts mit Licht, aber viel mit Ton. Und immer wenn dann irgendwas mit Licht gebraucht wird, dann ist halt Kacke. Das ist so die Situation, ja. Hoffentlich werden wir bald durch eine Stiftung unterstützt. Dann hätten wir einen sehr, sehr geilen Rig und vor allen Dingen ein Command- und Federwink. Ja, das wäre natürlich geil. Das wäre natürlich wirklich geil. Vor allem, weil man dann auch in der Schule so ein bisschen die Möglichkeit hat, in Richtung Veranstaltungstechnik was zu lernen. Ich habe bei uns an der Schule eine AG gegründet, eine Veranstaltungstechnik AG. Ich gemerkt habe, gibt's nicht. Und es gibt Leute, die haben Interesse dran, die haben Bock auf sowas. Und ich habe natürlich auch Bock auf sowas. Und ja, vermittle Leuten gerne das Wissen, das ich habe. Und ja, so ist dann eine AG zustande gekommen. Und dann ist man natürlich auch darauf angewiesen, dass die Schule irgendwas an Technik hat, weil sonst kann es ja nicht viel machen. Aber ja, genau. Okay, Ethan, you can go
on. Kangaroo Productions, do you mean tracking as in like a tracking backup of a console? And then I just want to make sure that's what you're talking about. So I get confirmation from you about that. I shall
Where is this question? Is it on Discord or?
No, it's on live chat.
I can't see it. Where is it?
can't you? I've got one.
Huh.
Well, okay, I'm gonna assume you're talking about tracking as in the hardware part. So if you have two consoles and you're worried about a failure, generally what you're gonna be worried about is you're gonna be worried about having the console, the actual hardware, like the motherboard or something die in the middle of a show. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. So there's the main way if you just want to tracking backup is you'll have, let's assume you've got two MA2 full sizes and one MA NPU. So you're going to put all of those into a network via a network switch. So you'll have the MA, both MAs going into network switch, and the and the NPU going into the network switch. Then if it isn't, then you'll obviously create the session. Then what you'll do is you'll join the session with both consoles and log into both consoles with the same user profile. So whatever your main user profile is, you'll log into it. Then you can then basically whatever you do on the one console will be completely replicated on the other console, so that if the one console dies or goes down because of an actual hardware fault, you can hop straight onto the other console and it'll have control of the rig, so the show can continue going on. The other way would be to have another console with another user, and then you go into that, because then if it's an issue with software, it can't, or if there's a bug with your user profile and stuff, then it can't go onto that. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, basically, when there's another console in the same session, you have kind of a backup. And GrandMA always uses the console with less latency to the nodes for DMX output.
Yep. Cool. Tom gave you a German thing.
Yeah, he said that he's a event technician as well, and he's doing like work group at school about this, and he has a lot of fun with it. That's basically what my situation was as well. And now I had this internship in theater. Yeah, it's still a funny job, but in theater there's like all this hierarchy. I think it's hierarchy, called hierarchy.
Yeah, hierarchy.
Like, yeah, as a lighting technician, the only job that you have is taking lights, putting them somewhere else. And if there's not like the system that you like to work on, or it still is a lot of fun, but not as much as you would think now.
Ja.
Und warum habe ich das schon wieder auf Englisch beantwortet? Die Frage auf Deutsch. Ja, was ich damit sagen will, je nachdem, in was für einem Job du halt später landest, hast du halt dann mehr oder weniger Spaß dran. So, ich habe das auch hobbymäßig gemacht die ganze Zeit und mache es auch immer noch größtenteils hobbymäßig. Und da macht das natürlich wahnsinnig Spaß, wenn du dann irgendwann halt mal, sag ich mal, gezwungen bist, irgendeinen Job zu machen, wo du jetzt nicht so Bock drauf hast, oder irgendwo zu arbeiten, einfach weil du halt in der Regel nicht irgendwo oben einsteigen kannst, sondern dich irgendwie hocharbeiten musst, dann hast du halt da dann wieder erstmal nicht so viel Spaß dran. Das ist im Prinzip leider die Wahrheit, so nennt man das Leben, aber naja, kriegst du auch hin. Also, wenn du dein Ziel im Auge behältst, dann passt das. Wenn du halt irgendwann mal Light-Design machen willst, dann hast du ja ein Ziel, und wenn du da hinkommst, dann hast du garantiert auch Spaß dran. SLS, Sound and
SLS.
Lighting, whatever.
We are not in a session.
We are in a stream session, but not in an MA session.
MA session, because like Lucas is in Germany, I'm in South Africa. It would be way too hard to set up a VPN to do that. Basically, what's happening is I'm just sending a stream out of my computer to his computer, and he's streaming out to YouTube.
Yeah.
So no, we're not in a session.
And I'm compensating for the delay.
Latency.
I'm just delaying my
no.
stream information as much as his information takes till it's like 1 second and 9.5. Basically 2 seconds of delay till his video is at my place, and
if it's like 18,000 kilometers, because remember we searched it.
It's awesome that it works. Like it's the internet. It's awesome.
Yeah, the internet is a pretty cool place. I didn't say dope.
Dope.
All right, what else can we go over? Is there any more questions? Because we've still got like another half an hour to stream.
Yeah.
So we're only just under an hour in.
Let me
Trying to think if
see.
there's anything interesting to go through in my show far. Let me look for something.
Yeah.
I don't think there actually is. Like, there's not much of. Wow, the rain is really coming down now.
I could explain how my new MA Frankenstein keyboard thing works.
Actually, yeah, I'm interested in that too. So do that.
Okay, so you can go ahead first. I'll upload the image that I sent to you to an provider so that the people can see it and know what I'm talking about first.
Yeah, I've got, I don't know. There's nothing to really go over. I'm trying to think if there's anything interesting to show. So I don't really. There's not much like. There's not much I want to show at the moment because there's some stuff that's still in development. That's probably pretty buggy at the moment. That is gonna be cool when it works, but when it works
Isn't right
is
now.
the big. Well, let me do a quick.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty cool. Here's something that's pretty cool. So on my main color screen view here, you can see that I can actually press the spots once to activate it, and then press it again to deactivate it. So you might be wondering, how does he do that? And it's the same with these blank ones, and yeah, so the same with the blank ones and the fades. So if I just open this up, you can see all it's doing is saying going Executor 115.147. So if I hop to, I need to change my view around to that one. If I go to page 115, which is here, you can see when I do this, it's actually just changing this exec over here. So if I just manually touch this exec, you can see that it is actually putting the yellow thing around the macro. So all it's doing is it's going the macros that do the color picker, the color effects generator stuff, and then it's just changing the appearance of the macro. So for those of you that don't know how to change the appearance of a macro, it's literally, or of anything actually in the console, it's just appearance, whatever you want. So in this case, macro and the number 1056 slash. I just use RGB values, so slash R equals whatever, slash G equals whatever, slash B equals whatever. So that allows me to basically use these as executors when they are macros. And then I've got, in case I do actually want to use them as execs, I've got these blank ones down here that I can store via a macro over here. So if I want to store something to it, let's store blank execs and I can store stuff. So yeah, I guess that's the pretty interesting thing that I did when I was bored one day. Are there any other questions so far about what we do? You ready to go, Lucas?
Yes, I'm ready to go. I'll just
Cool.
paste the link into the chat and then tell the guys how it's working. So I found myself in the situation that I had a keyboard lying around. Old keyboard, IBM, clicky keys, and I don't really need it. And I thought, would it be possible to remap every key, like also the shift and the control keys, to any button in MA, so that I'm able to just carry this keyboard with me and have like a command line without faders. And I started labeling all those keys with like a label printer, and then I thought, how will I be able to program this? And like GrandMA can do shortcuts, but there's no option to map individual shift keys or individual control keys. You can only program combinations like control and something, or control F1 or F1 without control, and that's pretty limiting. And this is why you won't have direct access to all the functions when just using MA itself. So I thought, how could I reprogram the keyboard? And there's a software solution called Interception, which makes this possible. It was a lot of hustle and it took a lot of hours to properly configure it, but at this moment it works, and it works pretty good. So I'd call it a success, and if you guys are interested in how this is working in detail, I would really like to do a video about it or upload the configuration files to some kind of web drive or something. Like, that's no problem. But I thought this is pretty cool and just wanted to leave this out here. No, I did not use auto hotkey because auto hotkey only sends one command. Like, you can do a lot with auto hotkey and even more as I've done now, I think, but I don't need it. It's enough to just remap the buttons on the keyboard. So, for example, the command key on the left should be the shift key. It should work as MA button, so it should be the shift key. Or the shift key on the left side should be the list button. So list, I assigned this to control L. So this button, the left shift key, will trigger the combination control L. And basically this is how it works. There's nothing else to it than this. But you have to write this into the configuration file by yourself, because the configurator will only it will only send the command when you press down the key. And for GrandMA, it's crucial to have the down press command when you press down on the key and the up press command when you release the key. And that's why you have to edit the configuration file by yourself, because it doesn't work with the automatic configuration thing.
Yeah, there's a German question for you.
Wie heißt die Software? Hört sich höchst interessant an. Interception und Intercept, also der Treiber selbst, der ermöglicht, dass Windows erstmal in der Lage ist, mehrere angeschlossene Tastaturen voneinander zu unterscheiden, heißt Interception. Und Interception ist dann in der Lage, praktisch eine Taste von einer bestimmten Tastatur an deinem Windows-Rechner sozusagen in Beschlag zu nehmen. Dass Windows die nicht mehr erkennt, sondern nur noch irgendeine andere Software, wie zum Beispiel dann Intercept. Und Intercept geht dann her und schickt eben statt dem Tastenanschlag, den du eben gedrückt hast, irgendeinen anderen. So funktioniert das. Ich müsste gerade mal gucken, das Ganze habe ich von dem Editor von Linus Tech Tips, der Taron, der hat das verwendet, weil er ja so ein Wahnsinniger ist, was Arbeitsoptimierung angeht und seinen Schneid-Workflow da irgendwie versucht, so optimal wie möglich zu machen. Er hat da Videos drüber gemacht und auch ganz schöne Links dann zu den entsprechenden GitHub-Seiten veröffentlicht, und daher habe ich das. Ich könnte jetzt mal eben nach dem Link suchen. Da gibt es einen Link zu seinem GitHub, wo der ganze Quatsch dann drin ist. Den müsste ich jetzt eben mal suchen. Ansonsten gibt es noch eine weitere Frage. Eine englische Frage gibt es noch. Den Link suche ich mal eben zusammen. Ethan, you can go ahead. I'll post the link to the thing that I just explained into the chat.
Cool, okay. SLS sound and outsourcery, how do you make a macro for the movement effect to have -2 through 2 wings? So you're saying you want the pan to have -2 wings and the tilt to have 2 wings. Then for Julius, I'm not entirely sure what you're asking. I'm gonna talk about what I assume. Building an effect live is possible, like as in you're going to actually store the effect, create the effect all via like macros or something. But editing, I'm gonna say you're going with the editing effects kind of side of it. For editing effects, it's literally I'm gonna go with this for an example, is that you can literally say assign, I've got user defined variable thingamajiggies here, so you can either use that or just say assign effects 1 dot. Always you need to put the 1 dot before or else it doesn't work. So assign effect 1.327 / groups equals 1, groups equal 2, groups equals whatever, and also / wings equals 3 / blocks equals 2. For the sunlight sorcery one, what you can do is you could say assign effect, let's say it's 1.10. Let's say it's effect 10 and it's a circle. So the first one's pan, the second one's tilt. Assign effect 1.10.1 / wings equals -2. Assign effect 1.10.2 / wings equals 2. Let me actually go check act lighting quickly, because act lighting effects, because I've also tried to do that before because I wanted to change stuff between symmetrical and asymmetrical, but it just never really worked for me. I would say just like -2.2, which means -2 through 2 in syntax, or -2 through 2, and it just never really worked. So let's check what act lighting says. Act lighting always has the answer. Low value wings. Because like if I come, okay, so because if we hop into an effect quickly, like here's a circle effect, you can see here it says -2 through 2. So if I say, if I just change this and just try it out right here, so -2 through 2 doesn't even apply it. -2 through 2, please. Yeah, it doesn't even apply it. So yeah, I'm gonna say the easiest would be to say assign, so I'm using 1.65, assign effect 1.65.1 / wings equal -2, assign effect 1.65.2 / wings equals 2. That should do it, unless I messed up the syntax. Nope, there you go. So that is probably the easiest way to do it. Sound and light sorcery. Let me know if you have any more questions. Then let me oops out of everything I've done. Cool. Any other questions for us as of yet? Is there anything you want to go over, Lucas?
Seems like there are no more right now, at least.
Someone needs to ask us something else. We're gonna have to like stop the stream. I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to talk about while I've got some. Danger zone. So I'm assuming he's trying to say there.
What?
From Tom, his latest comment, DANGGEE. Julius says that.
DANTG. Yeah, GG.
GG, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Julius, you are most welcome. How do you do a random color delay? You can't do random color delay, because you always have to have a selection order for...
You can make a random selection.
You can make a random selection and then do it, but you can't, like, it'll always be that order. So it'll look random the first time, but then every other time, because it's a delay, if you watch my tutorial, go watch my tutorials, I'll show how to make a delay. You have to use a selection, so it's going to go in the order of that selection. So if you don't, so it always, you can't, like, unless you did like a thing where you created Lua that shuffles the fixture numbers and then selects them in a different order.
You have to trigger the shuffle selection command with a macro or a Lua plugin,
and then store it to a group.
Use it, and then you have your...
You could probably do it, but you can't. You'd have to learn Lua, and you'd have to get good at Lua, and it would take a long time to get it to work. So I'm gonna go with no. Even though you technically can, but I'm gonna assume I can't, Lucas can't, so we're gonna say no.
If you only want to have a random looking thing, it would be enough to just shuffle your selection and use this. It would be the same every time, but it would look random. If you want it to really be random every time, you need to have a macro or Lua plugin that shuffles every time and uses the new selection that it just has created.
Yeah, but that would just
that's
be
the way
to do.
Yeah,
it would take like a long time. Like I don't think you could even do it the macro, because I don't think you can do shuffle selection via macros, because you can't. You can do shuffle selection. Can you?
You can do it
in
You can do it in the tools window. When you open tools, there's the random functions, and there you can shuffle the values or the selection order. That's the
really?
that's the only place where you can shuffle the selection in GrandMA. But I don't know if that's if you're able to trigger this through a macro or Lua plugin. That's the only thing that I don't know. Lua is really great. I started.
It's hard.
I started out with Lua, and it's hard, yes. But when you like got into it, it's like very easy to write a logic that does things that you would normally do by hand in hours, and that's great.
Yeah.
But it's hard to learn. So if you already have some programming experience in other languages, that will help you a lot. Cause understanding the default like things in programming, like while loops or if clauses and else and all these things. When you already know this, it will be a lot easier for you to get into Lua, and it's absolutely worth it. But it's a lot of work.
It's subjectively worth it. I'm gonna go to SLS's thing, how to do a random strobe on RGB cells. That is fairly simple. I've opened a different show file here. I'm gonna just quickly grab this LED one here, so you can see these are LED strips. I'm gonna grab the selection. I'm gonna go to effects. I'm gonna go to LFX. I'm just gonna find a random one. So let's go here. Say add, then just say dimmer, and then shuffle selection order to make it random. So just this thing in the corner here.
We see your 3D at the moment, so.
Oh, is it only 3D? Oh, fudge! I pressed the wrong one. Oh, sorry. Let me start that again. My apologies. So again, just clear out, grab your selection, go into there, select dim, shuffle selection order a couple of times, make the dimmer speed kinda high, and then and then maybe set it to like chase, and that works, or set it to sign and set the low value to -100, so it does a full thing in fully off and then fully on. If you want to, you can say like 50 groups, so like it does it randomly, or 30 or whatever, and then you can just play around with it and get it right. Or if you really want to, you can use the random form, which I think looks horrible. That's just me. You can use the random form. And then obviously
you have to really figure the random form. You have to really configure it to look good. But it's usually it does not look that great. Sometimes it's better to use something that is not random.
I just recommend sitting and pressing shuffle selection order for like a solid minute.
For like a solid minute.
Store that to a so like because then it'll shuffle it, store that to a thing, and now you've got your random strobe, and obviously it'll apply to whatever color you use. So yeah, that's as far as I know. If it doesn't have a shutter channel, that's pretty much the only way to do it. And then obviously, if you wanted to make it even more random, you could select in a random order, and then technically though, if you sat and press shuffle selection order for long enough, eventually it would go back to its original order, would it not?
No. Yes, no.
Yes, eventually it would, but it would take a long time.
There is a very little chance that you will get to the same selection again.
It would just take a long time.
But of course, there is always the chance.
Let's see if I can do this. I'm not actually going to sit and do it. But yeah, so just press shuffle selection order quite a lot of times. Get that done, and then, yeah.
It will be working with pressing it once already, but yeah.
Well, no, if you press it once, it's just like, here's what happens when you press it once, okay? So grab this, go back here, do the same thing, dimmer, make the same speed, 200, same value, 100, press it once, and then it's like, it doesn't fully shuffle it, there's still a couple, like if you look especially, like here, there's still a couple that are in their original order, so that's why I set and I just do it a couple times so that it does it.
Okay, I never really used the button inside of the effect. I always used the button in tools.
In tools.
And then just took the selection in the effect. I don't know if it makes any difference, but yeah.
Tools, shuffle selection order.
In my experience, the shuffling with tools was quite shuffled.
Yeah, it does look pretty shuffled.
Yeah.
This is actually how I do lights. I just use highlight, and I just go through the like all those like I'm just sitting here tapping the highlight button. That's how I really do it.
Okay.
It's a joke. No, not a good one. Okay.
So, there's another German question.
Kiff.
Ist es möglich, bei einer Sequenz eine Gruppe zuzuweisen, sodass ich diese ändere, auch die Fixtures der Sequenz sich ändern? Okay, this question is tough. He asks if it's possible to assign a group to a sequence, so that when you change the group, the fixtures that are used in the sequence will change. That's a very strange question.
Wait, so repeat that?
He asks if it's possible to assign a group to a sequence so that the fixtures that are used in the sequence will change when you change the group.
So, is it possible to assign a group to a sequence so that the sequence will change when you... I don't think so, no, because sequences...
Like, you're storing queues into sequences. I'll switch to German, because he asked in German.
Yeah, sure.
Du speicherst Queues in eine Sequence. Und ein Queue beinhaltet immer Werte für bestimmte Lampen. Das heißt, es ist nicht wirklich möglich, das dann nochmal zu ändern. Ein gespeicherter Queue ist ein gespeicherter Queue. Du kannst zwar mit Presets arbeiten und so und später nochmal ein Preset ändern und dann greift er auf die neuen Werte aus dem abgedateten Preset zu, aber die kompletten Lampen zu ändern, würde nur funktionieren, wenn du einen Platzhalter, also eine andere Lampe in dem Queue verwendest, die du wirklich nur als Platzhalter einsetzt und die dann später ersetzt durch die Lampe, die du da wirklich drin haben willst, indem du zum Beispiel Clone verwendest. Aber ich glaube, der Workflow, so wie du dir vorstellst, ist nicht wirklich einfach zu machen. Und ich wüsste jetzt auch auf Anhieb erstmal nicht, wozu du das bräuchtest. Aber ja, nee, gibt's keinen wirklich sinnvollen Weg für so etwas. Okay, I'm done with the question. You have to clone live. Yeah, that's it. You have to clone. You have to use like placeholders and then clone it. That's the only way to change the fixtures inside an already stored queue after the fact.
To, like, create macros to clone group X at X live.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Yeah, I already said that. I wouldn't recommend this workflow. It's not
that's a pretty
good.
Bad one.
Yeah.
No offense.
No offense, but not a good workflow.
It's bad. It's bad. Okay, hey there, guys. I'm flying to Hamburg next morning, so tomorrow morning for MA2 training with AIDA Entertainment House, and I'll join a ship afterwards.
Nice.
Enjoy, Vlad Diakonu. I hope I said your surname right. Lucas, German question for you.
Yeah. So
there's two.
So
one is about color programming.
He said that he needs the thing when he has different shows with different fixtures and he wants to use the same show file. And basically, I'll switch to German.
Go watch my video.
Ja, also wenn du dein Showfile durch verschiedene Shows ziehen willst und durch verschiedene, sag ich mal, Rigs durchziehen willst, dann musst du Cloning verwenden. Dann kommst du auch nicht um Cloning drum rum. Dann verwendest du Partial Show Read und Cloning im Prinzip. Das jetzt, sag ich mal, in einer angemessenen Zeit zu erklären, wie es funktionieren würde, ist, glaube ich, nicht möglich. Aber die Begriffe, die du suchst, sind auf jeden Fall Cloning. Du willst also die Lampen, die du vorher hattest, also du willst die Lampen, die du jetzt hast, auf die alten Lampen drauf klonen, die du damals hattest. Und das müsste funktionieren. Also damit kommst du auf jeden Fall an das Ziel, was du haben möchtest. Und die Color Picker Programmierung, ich arbeite aktuell an einem Lua-Plugin, was einen kompletten Color Picker Layout View automatisch bastelt. Das spart einem aber nur Zeit. Also ich mache es im Prinzip genauso wie alle anderen ihre Color Picker Layout Views auch basteln, wie Christian Jackson das macht, wie Ethan das macht. Ethan hat ein sehr schönes Tutorial zu dem Thema, sodass man das relativ schnell selber machen kann. Und dann gibt es noch ein Plugin von Jason Chiaffo, der ganz tolle Lua-Plugins schreibt, unter anderem auch eins für die Makro, für die Color Picker Layout View. Dann kannst du mit einem Makro dir das ganz schnell bauen, mit einem Plugin, die das ganz schnell bauen von Jason, und dann hast du im Prinzip wenig Arbeit damit gehabt und trotzdem das in dein Showfile integriert. Okay, let's get back to some English questions.
Yeah, let me add, I just want to add on to Julius' thing, just watch all the Christian Jackson stuff. Vlad Vlad, you're Vlad. I'm planning in the future and intending. Honestly, to be quite frank, it's not that important to you. Could you say to continue your path of being a great light designer? The MA2 is just the actual thing. It's just a tool to get what you want across. If I would recommend more spending time to actually learn lighting design, focus on that, and then learn. Would you suggest me to come in Germany to attend? Honestly, like, to be, I don't think anyone really, like, if you put on your CV or your resume, I don't know what you call it in Germany. I went to X and X training for MA2. I don't think it really matters. I think that if you are able to just work on the console, they don't mind. I think a university degree or something like that in lighting design would go further than a certification in GrandMA2. If you don't know GrandMA2 at all, you're really struggling with online tutorials, go in, because nothing really beats having someone you can ask questions straight to versus the internet. But yeah, as I said, it's not that important to actually go and get a certificate saying you learned MA2 at X, Y, and Z place, because obviously you've got a load of resources online. You've now, Act Lighting is launching their new degree course thingy-majiggy that you can go to. It costs money, but it's probably still cheaper than the other things. So yeah, I wouldn't, like, if you want to, go for it. But I learned MA on my own before there was like a lot of tutorials, but now I started learning there actually weren't that many, also it was hard. Now there's like a lot more information now to learn. SLS sound and light source user vars in other user vars. Why are you putting user vars in other user vars?
But it works. You don't really need
yeah,
it.
that would work anyway. What are you trying to say? Like assign. So your user var is $. Yeah, like a user var just to do to do certain groups or something. Just can you like expatiate? That's totally a word. Expand on that, because Lucas. Actually, I don't know. Can you? But I don't know why you would even.
I think you can. I saw someone do it, but I just wanted to say something to the other question before. I lately did a course for MA2. I did the advanced user training lately, and yeah, I thought it would help me a lot, because I only learned by doing stuff with MA, and I really had no training whatsoever before. But a lot of the things weren't really new to me, and I learned new things, of course, but not that many. So just to be sure that you are able to use the whole potential of the software, it's absolutely worth it, because there's always things you've never thought of, or you haven't noticed that they are there. And for this, it's worth it to get the course. If it's not a like cost problem, just to be sure you are fully into the system, you can do it, of course. And it's always easier to just have a certificate saying that you can do it, instead of having to have good work that tells that you can do it. But
I think
that's the only advantage. There's no reason in you aren't a better GrandMA2 operator when you have done the training. That's not the case.
Training,
in lighting, it's a lot about design, not about using your console. When you have good design ideas and you can but you can't use the console, that's bad. But if you have no good design ideas but you can operate the console, that's bad either.
It's way worse.
That's more worse. So
another the same influential lighting designer, he's in EDM. Lucas and like Kangaroo Productions are just losing it at this. I think he's gonna, like, if he finds the stream, he's gonna like, oh shit, that's me.
He jumps onto the stream. Wait, what?
Wait. Is he talking about me? Okay.
Like, Instagram message incoming.
No, WhatsApp, man. Come on. No DM starting. So, Okay, just wait. Let me try and say what I was trying to say. So
Yeah.
with what he's an EDM, so he did a course, he did a university degree in theatrical lighting design, and he says that because when I was deciding if I'm going to go, because I'm starting university in a couple of years, if I want to go into that, what he said is even though they don't offer like it depends on what you want to do. I don't know if you want to do EDM, theater, kangaroo production, Shake said. I don't know if you want to do theater or whatever, but it's generally I will keep saying this. It's better because you can say that you are a good design troubleshooting wise, but you plan on being like so companies. It's going to be a lot harder to become a lighting designer for a great company, as you refer to them to, without a degree in lighting because degrees are still important, generally pretty important in the grand scheme of things. People are going to look if you have a degree or not. So if you don't have a degree versus somebody who comes in and has a degree, they're obviously going to go with that person because
They can be
there's a
sure
lot of
about it.
resource, yeah,
They can be
because
sure
they know
about what he
that
can do.
theatre mostly. A lot of universities will offer courses on theatre lighting. There's a lot everywhere, so it's better to get a degree in theatre in lighting for theatre because I'm sure in Germany there's a couple. So it's better to go and get a degree because, as Lucas said, it's if you have good design ideas and you can't use the console, it's bad. But if you can use the console expertly, but you can't design, it's even worse. So then, if you want to be a lighting designer, then you're screwed. You can maybe make it as a programmer because you're just obviously programming what somebody else wants. But yeah, I don't. Honestly, if you're really struggling with the console, go on a course. But going on the course will not help you that much to get to it will help you in the fact that a company might hire you as a console tech, so you might like check the consoles when they come back in, but they're not going to hire you as an actual designer straight off the bat just with a certificate that you did a course. So if you want to become a lighting designer for companies and you want to actually become a
Just do
lighting designer
great
from the
work
get-go,
and like really
and try and get a
think
degree, yeah.
about getting a
But
degree. I want to get a degree in
it's
not lighting
I wanted
design,
to
in
get a
event
degree,
technology. You can in
yeah.
Berlin you can study event technology and management, and that's basically the way to go when you want to get in this whole event industry, no matter what you're doing, sound, light, or whatever. And when you
Yeah, so
have
I
this,
think
of course, that's a good way to get into it and like not start at the bottom. But there's always multiple ways
yeah.
to get to any goal. In GrandMA, I would almost say troubleshooting is one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Like you run into problems always, and when you are struggling to solve those, this is the hugest problem
Yeah.
that you will have.
So yeah, he says he wants to make a portfolio of lighting design videos, and like, yes, that is the possibility, but it's also just like looking ahead. It's a lot easier to get jobs everywhere with a degree. So if you really don't want to get a degree, don't. It's obviously we're just giving our opinion. If you don't want to, don't. But even if you have there's a lot of people who start a degree and drop out, and they can make it, but it's gonna take. It will take. I can't guarantee. Nobody can guarantee anything. An industry where it's a lot more of like who you know and how hard you're gonna work than what you know. But it still does help to have this and this understanding from school. It does help to have that. Like I hate the whole idea of like a piece of paper says okay now I can get a job, but it generally will help you having that piece of paper and being able to say, I went to X, Y, and Z school, I've got a degree in this, I know. It also, there's a lot of stuff you'll learn in university that you just can't learn in just doing it live. A lot about theory, and also a lot of lighting design courses don't just cover lighting design theory, but they also go about, I don't know internationally, I know South Africa, they also cover actual lighting fixtures and maintenance, all that kind of stuff. So you've got a way broader skills range than just being able to say, okay, I can program and I can design. SLS. Let's move on from this. But then again, neither of us have actually got degrees yet. So we're just saying what other people have told us and what we understand is the right idea. So take everything we say with a grain of salt. I use user vars in user vars to select different groups of pool items. For example, I'm making a custom delay time setup. For example, I can pick if I want a delay or fade, then how long. So why you? So can you give me an example of syntax you're trying to use so I can figure it out, please? Sound and light sorcery. Lucas, what are you doing?
What the fuck?
Yeah, the thing is, I'm 28 now, and I got okay. Yeah, that is that time. Okay, yeah. If you're, cause I mean, yeah, most of them are gonna be a 4-year course. So honestly, as I said, that's if we were under the impression you were like coming out of high school or something. So we were giving you the information we've got because both of us are coming out of high school at the moment. So that's if you're already being hired on a basis where you're making a livable, well, not a livable, if you're being hired a couple times a month and you can build up that portfolio, go for it. You will probably have to start if you've got no degree, you're probably going to start at the bottom of a company as a case pusher, as most people will, and then work your way up. But yeah, so then honestly, as Lucas said, the courses don't do much, but they can help you. So yeah, I guess go for it. If you want to do the course, do it.
There's
Ja,
a German
nee,
question on the
Lucas.
same topic as well. So, was glaubt ihr, ist eine Ausbildung nötig, um Lighting Designer zu sein, generell, um als Techniker gebucht zu werden? Stadtfest, kleinere Bühnen etc. Es geht nicht um große Festivals. Ja, im Prinzip viel ist schon gesagt worden gerade. Eine Ausbildung ist grundsätzlich immer gut in dem Bereich. Also das wäre auch der Way to go für eigentlich alles in dem Bereich. Keine Ausbildung zu machen ist, glaube ich, keine gute Idee, weil dann hast du halt wirklich eigentlich gar nichts, außer das, was du vielleicht schon gemacht hast. Und wie kommst du an Jobs ohne eine Ausbildung? Also Ausbildung wäre das Mindeste. Studieren kannst du es auch, wenn du wirklich willst. Wenn es dir mehr darum geht, dass du wirklich schnell reinkommst und praktisch was machst, dann Ausbildung natürlich. Ausbildung zum Veranstaltungstechniker. Und dann ist das auch kein Problem. Also, weißt du, das Wichtigste ist einfach, dass du Leute kennst, die Leute kennen, die wissen, dass du was drauf hast. Und das geht relativ schnell, wenn du einfach Interesse zeigst und dir Mühe gibst, dass dich Leute kennen, die dann zum Beispiel eine Veranstaltungstechnikfirma haben. Ich meine, kleinere Veranstaltungstechnikfirmen gibt es ja auch wie Sand am Meer. Insofern, das sollte eigentlich alles kein Problem sein. Da drücke ich dir einfach nur die Daumen und dann wird das. Ich hoffe, ich konnte deine Frage beantworten und damit zurück zu Ethan. Back to you.
Vlad, okay, so I go for it, dude. I wish you the best of luck. We're always happy to help you with MA, if you obviously. So yeah, I really hope you get to where you want to be, because I know I've met a couple of people who are a lot older than me and have kind of had their dreams dashed. So yeah, just go for it, I guess. If you've got 8 years of experience and even on that many consoles, you're pretty well. You might not get immediately on the MA2, but like I think you said you are hired. Yeah, you will work on the MA2, so yeah, get familiar with it. If you've got a job with the MA2 already, go on the course then. Learn the MA2 as much as you can, and then try and just work your way up from there, I guess. Yeah, Lucas. Yeah, 'cause I think if you're coming out of high school, obviously a degree is the way to go, because then you've got a higher chance of going straight into a lighting design position. But yeah, Lucas, is there anything else you want to cover? 'Cause you're making a whole lot of execs. What are you making execs for?
I left out the word soon. I just wanted to add it.
What? You're making like a...
I wanted to add some text and I wanted to make them colorful now as the next step, but that's only because I have too much time here.
Yeah, because I think there's much we still need to cover, so I think we can.
If there are no more questions right now, then yeah, we'll just wait till the time that I said this has arrived at your time, guys, and then we'll call it a success and stop our first live stream.
Yeah, I think we should do one of these once a month. What do you think, Lucas? Like once a month, have a night where we live stream for an hour or two.
Yeah, would be nice. So I'm totally into it, and we now know that it works, and we know that around like 80 to 100 people will tune in when we stream for like 1.5 hours, and that's awesome, guys, and we really like to help you. So
yeah, thank you for watching.
We will continue this, of course.
Yeah.
So Julius answered thank you very much. Studieren werde ich es nicht. Wenn man was mit Herz tut, denke ich, merkt es jeder, weil man dazu automatisch eine andere Verbindung hat. Ja,
Yeah.
dem ist nichts hinzuzufügen.
So
das funktioniert
actually quite
garantiert.
lucky as well.
Wie gesagt, du kommst in diesem Bereich mit ganz, ganz vielen Wegen ans Ziel. Wenn du dein Ding machst und mit Motivation und Herzblut dabei bist, dann machst du auf jeden Fall nichts falsch. Ich wünsche dir alles Beste und drück dir die Daumen.
Nothing
Okay.
good.
Can I post
so,
a pic of me on MA2? I'm only 13, but it won't let me post a link.
Can you post a picture, chat?
Oh, I think
Yeah, you
links
could.
are disabled in the chat. Am I right?
No, because no, Marcus is a moderator, so he could. Let's see
Could
if I can
you
change
can
that
join the
quickly.
Discord server. I just I put a link to
Yeah.
the Discord server into the chat, and you will also find it in every description of any video. You could join the Discord server and send it over there. Thanks for your feedback, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're always here to give feedback. And bye bye. Does effects that are stored in queues not auto update when you if they are selective? Yes. If they're so selective is when you either create the effect with a group selected or you create the effect select a group.
But they do
say,
update
Take selection.
when you
they
when
will
you have a
update if you
yeah.
selective effect.
Yeah.
It has to be a selective template or not.
Yeah.
Thanks for streaming. Cool. We're ready to call it, Lucas.
Yeah.
The stream, just quick note, the stream will go up and it'll be up in like an hour. So if you've just like tuned in and you want to watch it, so it'll be up in like an hour to hear us talk crap for half of it.
No, like I'll not edit this or cut anything out. We'll just let YouTube
raw sauce, just sauce, raw sauce.
Yeah, we just upload it to YouTube, just right away.
Right.
It's like it has this other thumbnail, and people will see that it's just a live stream. So the quality is like you would expect from a live stream, and I hope that's okay. And when we can help you guys, that's okay. So have a nice day und einen schönen Advent natürlich an alle deutschen Zuschauer. Und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal wieder oder in einem Video oder in einem Stream, wie auch immer. Ansonsten für Feedback und Kommentare sind wir immer offen. Discord-Server, schaut vorbei, wenn ihr Fragen habt und Feedback oder Support braucht, was MA angeht. Und ja, vielen, vielen Dank euch fürs Zuschauen. Okay, Ethan.
Cool. You want to end it?
We can end it. You can end it as well. Like I already ended it in German.